You didn't think I was going to make it, did you?
I didn't think you were going to make it.
Yeah.
But here you are.
Here I am. I made it. What are you doing with your hair? You okay?
I just got out of the shower, bro. I'm just trying to get it nice and looking good here, huh?
All right. You sound a little bit like robotic. Maybe that's just my earpiece that's doing it. But
yeah, you're doing the same thing.
Huh. Okay. Now do we sound better? Now you've cleared up. Do we sound better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, my bad. Sorry, it's just my phone connection. It's not my mic. I'm on my phone. This is how I do Instagram, so I apologize if it's weird. Does it sound better?
I think you sound better. The chat's calling you Robo Rose. I kind of like that nickname, not going to lie.
I don't know. It's not bad. Okay, so let's see if this works today. Let's start with Albert Pujols. Were you shocked yesterday when we got the news?
I think everyone was shocked to see that because, you associate Albert Pujols with just absolute greatness. We're talking he's just under 100 career WAR. We've all seen the moments with the Cardinals, with the Angels. So it is shocking to see that, but I don't think it's necessarily unexpected. The Angels are trying to win. They got a new GM in, they're trying to win, and Albert hasn't brought them a ton of value as of late. So, I can see why the Angels are doing it. They have Jared Walsh. They need to get him everyday playing time. Albert didn't want to be a bench guy. So, I don't love the way that it kind of just came about. I don't know. It wasn't willy-nilly, but, I wish there was some ceremonious goodbye, and there just wasn't that. So that was a little bit shocking. But to see, I understand why.
It was a weird day, dude. It was weird that the biggest free agent you have ever signed in history, they had a release. There was no press conference. There was no nothing. You didn't see anything from Pujols. What this means is that it didn't go down well. I heard, their new GM, Managian, come out and say, hey, listen, we had a conversation with him last night. He was a professional. He gave us a hug. Something went wrong here. And that's why it should have been handled. There should have been a press conference yesterday. There really should have been. And
you think?
And Pujols should have, even if he had wanted to come out and say, hey, listen, I'm not a bench player. I want to go find some place where I could help and contribute, 5 days a week instead of 2 days a week. I personally don't think that – I don't see a future for him. I've gone through a bunch of teams. People say, Tony La Russa should bring him back because he was his manager for a decade in St. Louis. Really? So what? So that he could clog up the bases, hit under 200, and make a less athletic team in Chicago when Andrew Vaughn should be getting at bats? No, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but the guy's 41 years old. He had an OPS over 800 one time in Anaheim. One time. He was over 900 every year for 11 years in St. Louis. So we have to be able to divide and separate what Albert was to what he is. And, it's an uncomfortable conversation, but we have to have it, Plouffe.
And it happens when you have these long-term contracts. Very few guys ride off into the sunset at the top of their game. David Ortiz did it better than anybody.
Yep.
But I have a team for him. I have a team. It sounds like he wants to play every day. That's what's going on. And so not many teams can give him that opportunity because, look, like you just said, he's not as valuable as he once was, clearly. So we need a team that doesn't necessarily care about the wins and losses and has some young guys, young farm system that they want to have a mentor like Albert, that's worth a lot, Chris. I'm talking the Baltimore Orioles. They have the DH spot because they're in the AL. They don't care about wins and losses. They have some young guys, and you have a guy like Albert Pujols there to mentor you how to prepare to be a big leaguer. How to, what his approach was in the box, everything that you can take from a guy like that. If he clears waivers, which I'm pretty sure he will, go offer him a job. Say, we'll let you play every single day, first base or DH, whatever you want. Come help us get better.
Okay, I think that's legit. I was thinking, people were trying to find fits of where his at-bats would actually mean something to the team, and that's no. Somebody put in the chat, Rose wanted Trev to say Cleveland. Listen, the Indians have zero production at first base, and I still wouldn't want them. And once again, this isn't to be mean, okay? You have to be honest. Sports is about honesty, and the hardest thing to do in professional sports is self-evaluate. Know where you are as a franchise, know who you are as a player, and people don't like doing it. But the honest to God truth is that he's not a threat. He is not a threat anymore. He does add something to what you're talking about, though, Trev.
Yes. I see him getting an opportunity somewhere. Maybe, I mean, I can't see an NL team doing that unless, we could talk about some of the bottom teams doing exactly what I'm saying, giving him at bats.
No.
But I think the Orioles are a good fit for him, and he is just he's so close to a few different milestones. And he wants to play. Obviously, if he didn't want to play,
right,
Chris, there would have been a press conference. I think I'm missing the word here. The divorce from the Angels would have been a little bit easier. It's interesting, but I think he can end up somewhere, and Baltimore seems to me like the most logical place. Okay, with that being said, what is his legacy out west, just in Anaheim? Oh, he created so many good memories there, but I think that people are just so caught up on the fact that they haven't been in the postseason very often. They have Mike Trout, and people want to see him in the postseason, and Albert just wasn't kind of the player that they needed, I guess, in those years. But he accomplished a lot there, and I'm sure he helped Mike out mentally and as a mentor. 500th home run there, 600th home run there, 3,000th RBI. So Artie Moreno knew what he was getting when he brought him in. He knew he wasn't going to beat Albert Pujols from St. Louis this entire contract. I think he wanted those big moments. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of positive, work off the field as well. He did a lot of good for the people off the field, the community. So there's that legacy that he leaves. And Albert sold tickets. Believe it or not, Albert sold tickets there. I think the people in Anaheim are going to remember him fondly when it's all said and done. What is this? Stop, bro. Stop. Do you know what this is? That's a zero. Zero? Do you know what the zero is? Postseason wins? Yeah. They did not sign him. Listen, all the stuff you said is 100% right. And I am never dismissive of a person, what he does behind the scenes, because I think glue guys are important. What you do in the community is huge. It is much more important in my eyes to be a better human being than to be a better baseball player. And if Albert Pujols accomplished that based on his track record, that's pretty damn special. It says a lot about the man. The Angels did not pay him $240 million to be a good humanitarian. I know. They didn't. They paid him so that they could win a trophy. And they didn't win anything. They had 1 year in 2014 where they were great, where they were the best team in the American League. And other than that, they didn't do it. So his legacy is – and it's the danger of when you leave a place where you're comfortable to seek out greener pastures. And I don't ever blame Albert Pujols because I don't know what sort of opportunity or deal the Cardinals were offering him after 2011. Let's all remember. Let's spin the clock back to that day. I was working in Dallas at the winter meetings. I got a call that said, Rose, you got to get down to the set. Albert Pujols is about to sign with the Angels. And we all talked about it. How could the Cardinals let him do this? How could they let him walk away? A 3-time MVP, 2-time World Series champion, the greatest 11-year start to a baseball career we've ever seen. And guess what? They made the right decision. They made the right decision. I know. I'm trying to be a nice guy here. Obviously, it didn't work out the way they wanted it to in Anaheim. But I'm not gonna. I can't just sit here and disrespect Albert Pujols. No, it's not. But to me, it's not even disrespectful of Albert. To me, it's more of an organizational failure. This is an organization that has been willing to spend money, right? They've been willing to spend money, but they don't address, exactly what they need, which has been pitching for a long time. So look, Albert is not the reason that they haven't been to the postseason. I'm going to say that right now. I would agree with that. But when you make a $200+ million investment in somebody, you expect to get some playoff wins. Sure. It's not on him, but he's got to be part of the equation, and it just didn't work out. So let's move on. Yankees wrapped up a series win yesterday, although the Astros avoided the sweep, in part because Jose Altuve went deep. Was there a little bit of you that felt good for him? Yes, and I said that on my Twitter, and I got ratioed to death by Yankees Twitter, who, like, I told you, I'm very friendly with Yankees Twitter, and I enjoy it. People did not like that I said that, and the reason I did say it, and the reason I did feel good for Jose is, look, he gets it worse than anybody on that Astros team. There's still Gurriel, Correa, Bregman, and I think McCullers is the other guy that were from that 2017 team. Altuve gets it by far the worst, and whether that's because it looks like it wears on him the most and people like that, they like seeing it affect him, I think that's part of it. But what I said was there was a guy that charted all the bangs, and we talked about this, I think, a couple days ago. Altuve used or had a bang on 2% of the pitches he saw in 2017, and his teammates came out and said he did not want, to use the system. So, like, did he cheat a little bit? Yes. Or, I mean, maybe he didn't want to, but they did it for him. Whatever the story is, he didn't do it as much as the other guys, but he gets more of the boos and, the jeers from the crowd than any of the other guys. So I don't think it's as warranted. Like, I'd rather, like, Gurriel skirts under this thing. I feel like he doesn't get any of the flack. Bregman gets it. He seems to be okay with it. Correa relishes it. So I think people don't even care anymore. They don't want to do it to him. They want to see it affect someone, and they do that to Jose because of it. So I did feel a little bit good for Jose. I put it out, and people killed me on Twitter yesterday.
I know. I didn't put it out. I was a little busy with some stuff, but I was happy for him. And just like I mentioned the other day that the Astros should not tell us when we should move on as fans from this whole thing, fans should not tell other fans how to feel. And you can't be like, well, why are you giving that cheater a break? Because that's the way I feel. Like, I was happy for him because I think that this has really bothered the hell out of Jose Altuve. And I don't know how well you know him, Trev. Do you know him at all?
Just from playing against him. No. Okay. I mean, he was always very nice to me playing against him, for sure.
I can tell you this. He was one of my favorite people in baseball before this happened. And it's hard because in the sort of situation I've been in over the last decade, I've grown closer to some people than others. I wouldn't call exceptionally close with Altuve, but he came on several times a year on Intentional Talk, was always good to us. So when this happened, I had to be able to kind of separate where we were relationship-wise with a guy where I stood on the matter. And that was very difficult. And I don't expect fans to understand it. So now that I think he has kind of served his punishment, I think this has really broken him as a man.
Oh yeah, I think that's a lot of the reason people do boo him too. I mean, the chat is saying that, like, he was beloved by everybody, and the whole Astros team was. I mean, you go back to 2017, even after 2019, before the story broke, people loved that team because they were good, and the personalities were there. And Jose is this little guy accomplishing all these great things. So I think that's why people are really mad, because they invested feelings with him. And then, obviously it's the whole Judge MVP thing. But I'll say, like I said on my Twitter, he didn't vote for himself for MVP. That's the writers. Judge should have won it regardless of the cheating. He had way better numbers than Altuve that year. They screwed that up. So Altuve has nothing to do with that. Yeah. But, I mean, fans have all the right in the world to boo this team as much as possible. But I'm also allowed to have some feelings, some human feelings towards him as well.
Totally. And I get it. If you've never met somebody, you're going to feel so different as opposed to somebody that you have met and have developed some kind of relationship. So I get it. And people are in the chat are blowing it up right now saying he cheated. He was the face of a cheating franchise. He should be banned from baseball forever. Listen, he should not be banned from baseball forever. And it wasn't his call to not penalize himself. You want to be pissed at Major League Baseball for that? That's your right. Once again, we've covered that. They weren't going to get the testimony if they didn't give the baseball players immunity. So let's, just for a second, understand law. Go watch an episode of Law & Order and get back to me then. All right, move on.
All right.
Giancarlo's killing it over the last dozen games. 12-game hit streak, 6 homers. Do you feel like he's gotten past the injury bugaboo and we're going to go back to seeing the 2017 G-Man?
All it takes, man, for that guy to stay healthy, to stay on the field. So, sometimes injuries just happen. I'm praying this guy is healthy for a full 162 this year because it's so fun to watch him. I mean, Sequence, the Twitter and Instagram handle puts out like hardest hit balls of the day.
Right.
He's on it every day.
Every
It's
day.
insane how hard he hits the ball. I love watching him at the plate. His setup is just different. Like, it almost doesn't seem like a real baseball swing. It just seems different, But he's a guy that everybody benefits. The entire sport of baseball benefits when Giancarlo Stanton is on the field. So just pray that this guy can, stay healthy, get rid of the soft tissue stuff, just be out there because, like I said, man, he's one of those guys that's just different. He's not like everybody else when he's on the field. He hits the ball so hard. One word, I'm going to get big game James. I'm going to use his word. The dude is majestic.
Okay. Is it also – you understand this better than most people. Does his swing look awkward to you? Like, to me, it almost seems like he's fortunate when the bat hits the ball. It's weird. It's like, and then when it hits, you're like, oh my God, that thing is going to go to a different stratosphere.
It's crazy. He's just so strong.
Yeah.
And he knows how to use his leverage, and like it's been that way for a long time. We just got to see the guy on the field. I'm very, very happy with the start because, a lot of times injuries just happen. They're not somebody's fault. He's not doing anything wrong. They just happen.
Right.
And he feels horrible about it. He wants to be on the field. So the start to the season has been tremendous. He hits the crap out of the ball, and we're all better for it.
By the way, his average exit velocity this year is 99 miles an hour. League average is 88.
I was going to say, like, if you can average in the 90s, low 90s, you're, like, killing it. 99 is a joke.
Yeah. All right, last one quickly. You can go get dropped off at a stadium this weekend for one weekend series. Where are you going?
I think I'm going to San Fran to see the Padres and the Giants matchup.
Then guess what? We're riding in the carpool lane because that's the one I picked. Why?
That'll be fun. There's some good pitching matchups in there. I like the contrast of styles the teams play. So I think that's where I'd end up. And the other one's also in California, Dodgers and Angels.
Yeah, they're both struggling right now, so that'd be interesting. But the Padres and the Giants 1, Padres 2 in that division should be fun. Plus Johnny Cueto's back for the first time in 3 weeks, so I want to see that.
Right. Sunday, you get to see Sunday Johnny Cueto is the best Johnny Cueto.
All right, so let's wrap this up real quickly. What do you have on John Boy coming up?
You and I are both going to head over, and we're going to do our Talking Baseball series recaps. Jim's been a little bit under the weather, so we're tapping you in. You called for the right. Are you righty or lefty?
I am righty, but it actually, the way I throw it looks like I could be either one. It's so bad.
Okay, we're tapping you in, so we got that coming today. And then you're also doing some other stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm taping my podcast with Glass now, and our special guest today, Evan Longoria.
Oh, my God. I was talking to Longo last night. He's one of my favorite all-time teammates.
Really? You should text him and be like, I heard you're doing Rose's podcast today.
Really
Make sure
cool.
you bust his balls. That'd be good.
I had him on my show a long time ago. One of the first guys I interviewed, Chris, I was very green at this, and we went over game 162 homer to put him in the wild card.
Yeah, don't remember that one.
I did not record the audio. It was horrible, man. What a horrible feeling. So he's coming back on with me too eventually, but he's awesome, dude. So I'm happy for you.
Awesome. It'll be good. We got some good stuff planned, and Glass now actually rented out his house in Tampa one season. So I think who knows what Longo found when they were cleaning things up.
Who knows what Glass now found? Longo. I love that.
I'll have to bring that one up. All right, everybody have a great weekend. We will see you on Talking Baseball in just a few minutes here. I appreciate it. You can hate the Altuve takes. It's perfectly fine. That's what we're about here. We're a democratic society, so we have good give and take. That's why we like listening to you. I'll see you in a few minutes, Plouffe.
See you later. See you guys.